All right. Hey everyone. Welcome to Granblue Radio. This is episode 319. Um, this episode is titled "Who's Seer?" because this
I know
character
who this
has been
character is.
this character's been forgotten. Like a lot of people, are like I've been playing this game for 5 years and I have no idea who this kid is. Anyway, uh, this is Vibrating Sheep of Granblue EN, and with me, before he goes to have fun on SakuraCon weekend, and also, is it next week that you're out to Japan?
No, it's
2 weeks?
end of May.
End of May, right? Sorry, I keep moving that up in my head. It just keeps getting sooner and sooner. So anyway,
Yeah,
um,
I'm not Mary's brother.
yeah. All right. Hey, so thanks DJ for joining me and yelling at me when I'm wrong, including on when you're going to Japan apparently. So
Why
let's
why is
get.
your camera super zoomed in compared to normal?
It's a very good question that I don't know the answer to. It's probably because I'm leaning in. All right. Anyway, so we have got a pretty light week, even though it's a Koregra week. But let's talk about a couple things that are happening this week. And so let's switch over. We have Koregra. Um, so a few things that are happening. It's like we have, Rise of the
April
Beast
April
starting
Fools
tonight.
happened.
April Fools. April Fools did happen. We talked about the characters and such. Um, and the unicorn is my favorite outfit of the year. Um, we have the rerun of Sauna, which is a good event. I'm glad it's coming back. Um,
I learned a lot about honors from this event.
yeah. But here's the thing. This is the title of the episode. It's like that kid on the left has appeared in exactly one thing in the last 6 years, and that was like a seasonal event. That's Seer. That's Mary's brother.
I
Um,
was gonna say Grand Blues.
I guess so, because he's just a representative, normal ass kid.
He shouldn't look at girls on the ship because it'll ruin his expectations.
I mean, he's not that's not a wrong thing. You got to raise this kid right, and he's just gonna get raised up, like grow up surrounded by supermodels.
Yeah,
But like with Seer and the Inner Light making it into side stories, this was the oldest one that hadn't made it in because this was a super early event. And honestly, it's not a very good event, which is part of why like it's on the same level as The Freeze, where it was just like, yeah,
here's the thing: people remember the freeze because the song that's tied to the freeze.
true. There's very little about this one, but the thing that we are actually going to talk about is that there are 3 events now that are the oldest ones, not in side stories. One is the Lumiel Gourmet, which I mean, it's fine, sure. The Girl Who Leapt Through Mountains, which last appeared 5 years ago.
That was the Fiona training arc, right?
Farah training
Yeah,
arc with
there we
Yodarha.
go.
So it did come up later with the society stuff eventually, and so like that would be a good one to bring back for like just checking in on Yodarha after all this time. The character is going to appear in Relink, and the character is one of those ones on the list that you go if you want another Harvin in Granblue Versus, Yoda might be a good one. He does have a very big hat box in order to get hit on his behalf. But yeah, and then the last one is Reflections for a White Clover. Out of those 3, DJ, which one would you actually like to see the follow up to? And if we got that in side stories.
Reflections of White Clover. That was a good story event. It also had the stupid samurai stuff with, aka the thing you also see in Star Wars with the two bumbling idiots.
Yes, thanks, Hidden Fortress. But yeah, like if we get to the Famitsu poll today, like the fans over in Japan are also just like, what happened? It's been 5 years. Can we please check back in on that?
It's very sad events.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Yeah, I don't know. We need a follow up.
yeah. Next up, we're going to go to number 3 on the agenda. We've got Vite as the next uncapped this month. Um, so this character actually does see play, but he doesn't see when you attack with him in your party, you immediately reload and collect your loot because the only reason this character exists is because there is a reactive nuke on special attack.
Yep, interfere. Yeah, it is cast on when the foe CAs.
And so, given what happened with Vania when they gave her the rebalance, they're going to try and lean into drain on him, right? Like
Does he
there's
naturally have a drain?
he drains a no, he does the reverse drain for a dot, doesn't he? He has the give them a dot in order to
He
get
gives
a
them a
bunch of
dot.
bonuses. Yeah. And it's like, but they're also trying to give daggers the hit multiple times with either nukes or autos thing, except that they just released Ilsa, who has the
Oh,
9-hit autos.
I just saw Bloodblade. His passive technically is a health drain
Hmm. Okay.
for 500.
But, we tried out the Vania thing, and it was okay. But, like, yeah, I wonder what'll happen. They'll need to actually give him something to do that isn't just be a reactive, like, shotgun that just goes off. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We definitely will see this with like within a day or two of Unite and Fight happening, and I'm sure he'll do something in Unite and Fight. The question is if he'll do enough. But it's
Do you think they'll do one of the things where they do a change day of, and then also the 5-star?
maybe. I think they will adjust a couple things about him, but you know, as it is right now, like his buttons don't get pressed. There is no situation in which you press
I
his buttons.
mean,
You
he's
passively.
not a bad character.
He
The
is not.
problem is he's in dark.
Yeah, that's also true. Like his actual buff mode is actually good. The problem is that once again, it's like welcome to Dark. Uh, do you do anything besides just triple attack with Chaser? Because that's what it takes right now. Yeah, it'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
no, it's dark's a mess with element for
Hmm.
characters. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe they'll give him the dagger multi hits, sort of Lancelot style, so that he works better with things like Ilsa, with her giving chaser, and then he'll get extra chasers and stuff like that. Because Tanya does that too. Come to think of it, so they can lean into the dagger part. He's even holding his dagger right there. Whoops. Yeah. All right, but that's Vite. We've got the pro skips coming on the 10th, so that'll be in by next week. Thank God.
Cool.
And then, so I was complaining about how, the game doesn't really guide you to the pros very well, especially the most annoying one right now is if you want to skip the Ifrit series, then you have to actually go and dig all the way into special quests and then hit Maniac and then blah, blah, blah. Um, and then you can skip them. So the big thing about this one is that not only are we getting 2 new skips, but on the quest page, the one that always starts your day by going, "Hey, did you do hard pro yet?" Um, then it will also uh, wait. So the treasure shed things are going to be updated, but here it is. So recommended quests are going to show you all of the pros that you are able to do, and you can just skip them from the same place instead of digging in a couple layers deep, which is
Hmm.
which is good. It's a good step. Because yeah, I mean I talk about Princess Connect a lot just because it's the same group that does these, the same producer, and so it's like, hey, instead of going to that quest page and hitting like 6 different things every day, what if we just had a book and the book told you where to go and you just followed that book and it's like, yay, they're doing it, awesome, thank you KMR. Um, and then the speaking of things that are making life easier, so here's the note that they put in Koregra about the in-game raid finder, which they announced at the anniversary stream. So there's 3 things that they really, really care about when they're making this, and they've announced their main points in advance. Is that number one, it will allow you to dig down to only show the raids that you want to see. The exceptions are that Unite and Fight and Dread Barrage will be like outside of that the scope of that feature.
Hmm.
Then they will make it so that so the way that I believe it works right now, and it would have to be um, this is mostly just experiential. It's not like me looking at the code. Is that when you ping the server to ask it, hey, what kind of raids are you going to show me this time? It pings it exactly once, and the game will always show you that the same like 7 or so raids, and anybody else who asks at the same time as you, who is on the same server group as you, will see the same list. Which is why sometimes when you hit um, request backup, like 30 people come in, and sometimes just no one comes in. And so they want to fix that up so that each player sees different things, so that we don't have a bunch of people rushing into the same thing, and it spreads the population out a little bit more. And then the last pillar of them designing this is that they will try and give more rewards to raids that do not have many players joining them. So it's kind of like the extra XP and RP, but they're just like, all right, this is not working well enough. We're going to add even more to entice people to come in. So those are the 3 things that they're asking for. Out of those 3 things, which ones do you care the most about, and which ones what do you think is missing from what you need from the in-game raid finder?
It depends on how much they adjust the treasures because there's a lot of useless treasures also.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the key things that I could think of.
Yeah, because right now like the extra thing that you get from a highlighted raid is XP and RP, and there's only so much of that that is useful in the game of Granblue Fantasy. Like the RP was nice, and then we hit cap.
Yeah, and not only that is well, hold on, what am I trying to say here?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and collect your thoughts.
There's a lot of raids that you think that were so I'm going to the Dragon's raids right now actually.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them actually don't get filled if you
Right.
notice, unless it's
Yes.
the even if it's the raid of one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so extra enticement would be very good for those, even if it's you know like the purple chest helps, but the purple chest doesn't necessarily contain what you care about anymore because
Now, people are trying to enjoying those raids for the Dragon raid specifically. If they're joining, are trying to get that small chance of a stand, and you don't even have to participate that long to get the stand. So they kind of negate some of the things. So it's what's trying to do there,
hmm
and
and
also
then
it's a really low chance. So
the other thing that they're trying for a lot of the time is the unique drop, because you need like 300 of them for certain uncaps, or like the Luo one you needed 500 of to actually get the Manatura, stuff like that. And those were not exactly, you know, that plentiful. You weren't encouraged to join them and help. You were encouraged to tap a bunch of them and leave. So,
and
yeah.
doing minimal of just as half is not helpful.
Yeah, that's fair. That is very fair. From my end, there's a very, very fragile balance between seeing different things for each player and also overloading the servers, because, you know, the whole thing where it just gives the same list to a bunch of players at once, and it doesn't actually refresh that list very often until a bunch of those are dead, um, it keeps the server load low, because they've had, so many requests to the server that it just overloads and dies before. This is why they're specifically not doing it during Unite and Fight, because Unite and Fight still overloads the servers from just people
Correct.
doing stuff every 8 seconds. Um, but yeah, this is the one that I'm really curious about. And then this is the thing that it's just like they announced the lack of an announcement. It's like they don't know what's going to happen at Twitter. No one knows what's going to happen at Twitter, and so they're just like we seriously don't know. we really don't know what's going to happen with our Twitter system, which is, one of the reasons they're actually building this thing in the first place.
Yeah.
But also, they're just like, look, Twitter will make an announcement and then go back on that announcement. So there's no reasonable way to react to all of this in a timely or well-informed fashion because you can't have all the information because they'll just change it on you at the last second.
Yep.
Sucks. It really sucks. Is it still a Doge right now on Twitter? I actually don't know. I don't look. I use TweetDeck, and fingers crossed that they don't just take all of the good things about TweetDeck away. They've tried to, and then I don't know, they just left it alone. All right. But yeah, they'll give us more um, details on it as they come. I'm not going to rush them because this is something that if it's done badly will do really badly. This is, a core part of the social portion of this game. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the one thing that I hope that that comes out of this is the ability to press a button and copy your raid code into your clipboard. That is currently a thing that does not work yet, and I want it to. So anyway, so that's that. Um, and then so that's it for the stuff that is in Koregra basically. There is one last thing that was not in Koregra but was in game and is a significant upgrade.
Oh, I was gonna talk about the last thing in Koregra of I'll see you on Christmas.
Yeah, I'll see you on Christmas. This is true. Uh, December 24th, we're bringing Isaiah to meet his one true love, DJ Narmea. Except that she might be Galleon that day, which
She might
wouldn't.
be Galleon.
Yeah,
That's not a bad trade-off
that's
still.
not a bad. That's not a bad trade at all. All right, but here's the real thing. It's not the fact that they made Vikala's Ahoge longer, which I really find funny. Um, but here's the following rated battles drop loot was adjusted. So Huanglong and Keelan, they used to have a blue chest. The blue chest has been removed, and everything that was in that. And the thing is, the blue chest only had 4 possible things in it. It was a regular anima of either Huanglong or Keelan, or it had both shields. And so they've taken that away, and the normal treasure chest is now there and has the same contents.
Okay.
So every Huanglong and Keelan now basically drops an extra anima for people, which is it's a good thing. More anima is good given how many of them you need for freaking stuff. And then, more chances that shield is also good. So this is something that I hope they go back and look at for like other blue chests. There are some that, like in the 6-person raids and stuff like that, I don't mind them having a blue chest still, but there are a couple where it's like, oh man, can we just put this into a normal chest? Thank you.
Which ones are you thinking of?
Um, it was mostly the uh well, this is something that's actually going to get addressed next month, but it's the Revens raids that don't have enough health to give everybody a blue chest. Because like everyone can get it in Mugen, everybody can get it in Diaspora. Not everyone can get it in Agastya, not everyone can get it in Seafon. And so that was what I was thinking about. And it's just like, yeah, that would be one way of doing it. The other way they're doing it is that they're just giving out more honors. So
And they're giving out more honors.
yeah, I guess that's their solution to that one. I wish that it was something else, but it is what it is. And that is it for this month, in terms of just like actual Granblue Fantasy news. Like next week, we won't have that much. Next week, we can look at the slides for Fest finally, DJ. Not Fest, but the 9th anniversary stream. That's a
Ooh.
fun one. Also, so if you would like, there's 2 things we can do. We can either cut this one short at 20 minutes, DJ, or we can look
Or
at Famitsu and look at
let's
the
look at follow me too.
Okay, so let me switch again. All right, so here we go. So here is last week's issue of Famitsu. And
Hi,
so,
Okugurumi.
yeah, she talks about how she was crying when she was forced to take Vayne out of her front line. It was great. So that'll be a fun translation. But here we have the Skyfarer poll, and so um, have you looked through the thread that I put up
I have
on Twitter,
not.
DJ? Okay, so the first one is mostly demographics. Um, so stop me when we get to a question that you're interested in. So let's start with question 6, which actually no, question 4 is an interesting one. How many Rise of the Beasts outfits have you actually traded for?
Oh,
And
that's a fun one.
yeah, so 57% have 0 out of the
That's
people who took the
expected.
poll, and then you get this this slow downward slope between 1 and 4. Um, Another one that's interesting. What is the island level of your resort island? So most people have it either between 1 and 7 or at 15, which is just the max. There's very little in between, and very few people don't have it unlocked. It's just one of those things that by being in a crew, mostly, you have it at level 1.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, you're either dedicated or you're very not dedicated, and there's very little in the middle. So, that's interesting. Who's on my page? So this is not necessarily a surprise given that it's Sandalphon and then the two MCs who are default on there.
Yeah.
Belial is an interesting one. Lancelot being number 5 is actually interesting to me. Number 6 is
I mean,
Yadima,
people like
which,
Lancelot.
yeah, that's true. Number 6 is Yadima, which is guaranteed to make you sad every time it comes up. And then
How many people said that?
64 out of the 2,000, like almost 3,000 people who took the poll.
Yeah, that's
So,
fair.
so all of these numbers are relatively low. It's very spread out, but these were the top 10. Um, what's your favorite class? Number 1 was Relic Buster, which is the just easiest one to play in the game right now. And then we got Kengo, and then Iatromantis. Then we go down like the full auto all stars, Lumberjack, Viking, Necromancer is actually still very popular, which is cool.
It's cute.
It is cute. Doctor, Glorybringer, Mana Diver, and Crusader. Um, Other ones, let's see here. What do you recommend to people to get when you first play Granblue Fantasy? So when you start, number 1, Relic Buster. Go into the event area, trade for it. It is super strong at all stages of the game. The next one to go for
Yep.
is Dark Fencer, because Miserable Mist is the most important skill in the game to put on your main
And
character.
we've definitely done that advice.
Yeah. And then number 3 was Lumberjack, which is just, yeah, it just makes your life easier because it can live through almost anything. And then there's like short fight versus long fight. There's nothing really surprising here, so we're probably gonna move on. So here's the interesting ones. So we've noted this before, where it's like the male characters are very top heavy in terms of favorite male characters.
Yeah, it's like not even like a competition.
Yeah. Um, and then like the interesting ones here were like Ingve's stocks shot up because of Full Metal Man. Um, and then yeah, that's the main new one. But it's like Dragon Knights, Angels, and and Eternals, not Evokers. Lobilio is not on this list. And meanwhile, over on the other side, we have um, the favorite female characters, which are much more spread out. Like we've got people who
Yeah,
like
they may be spread out, but these have still not changed that much over years.
True. Basically, the thing that's interesting to me is that Wamdis was in the top 10 and Galleon was not. Galleon was just outside of the top 10. Fediel was also just outside of the top 10. And it's like, that's really interesting that Wamdis is slightly more popular than the other two. I wonder if Ewiar counts on the female character listing, or if Ewiar is just listed as cat.
Yeah, we are is definitely a cat.
Yes. But yeah, it's like most of the replies that they listed were from females, except for Vicky. Vicky, the replies that they listed were from male, like respondents to the survey. Narmea, there was a girl just like, yeah, I like them big, and it's like, yep, you do you, lady.
Yep.
I applaud. Then there's just like, Vegeta's like, I just love how cute she is when she changes outfits, which is a popular opinion to have as well. Like Satyr is in the top 10 because of just the amount of work that she does, but also like that scene she had in the 8th anniversary event with that just also shot her stocks way up. Very good character. Cool
Oh
stuff here.
yeah. Oh,
What's
was
up?
when she's talking to Balder, right?
Mm-hmm. Like people just started crying and like Satyr's the best character in this whole thing. But yeah, we'll get to Balder later because we got this. It's like, we've got the listings of characters who are the best in full auto. So the Dark God Squad is 1, 2, and 5. The Lich is on this list twice, which is funny to me. Valentine.
One for both. Her different versions. One Halloween, the other normal.
hmm we've got Lily still chugging away years later. She's just, you know, she's there to do exactly the job that she's always done, which is keep you alive, keep the debuffs away, and yeah.
No, no.
No, no. This is another funny one to me. Who do you want to fight as a boss? Like number one, Seaphon. It's like, well, we made it. Good job, everybody. Then it's like, I want to fight Lucifer. I want to fight Sandalphon. I want to fight myself. Gran Orgita was number four.
Yeah, I can see
Um,
that.
Number five, they called this out. It's like, I want to punch the MC's dad in the face. Was there?
I mean,
Also,
after this last event too,
yeah. Um, who wants to throw hands with Lyria? I will fight you, all 39 of you. I will find you, and we will protect Lyria. That's not cool. Lyria got more votes than freaking Ferdinand, the actual one of the two major villains of the Marionette Stars arc.
Like it's mostly Tico that wants to murder him.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, and then it's like here's the listing of whose 5-star uncap made you the happiest. I'm very happy to see Alethea over here at number 3. It's like that character deserved the love, and I'm glad the character got recast. Um, the number 17 here is who got way easier to play with their uncap, and Vera was number 1,
Oh yeah,
absolutely number
no,
1.
it's that cap was not to be laughed at. That thing was amazing.
Yeah, that was a clear winner when Vera got uncapped and rebalanced. Anne is sitting over here with 170 votes, just barely behind Vicky, and Kumbira also. But and then once again, number 6, Lily. She's just
You
quietly
know,
plugging away. Good old Lily. Other things in the poll. Let's see here. Who do you want to appear in main story? And it's like, okay, so Primarch. Number 2 is an Eternal. Number 4, Belial. Number 5, Lucilius. Number 6, Eternal. Number 7, Cagliostro. Number 8, Beelzebub. Number 9, Noah. And it's like, yeah, we could use seeing Noah come back, especially since
it's been
they
a
mentioned
while.
when Rockham bonds with freaking he has
Tiamat.
Tiamat, right? Yeah, with Tiamat, like the story calls out, it's like, yeah, this would have been really easy if Noah was around. Sorry, buddy. It's like, man, I want Rackham back, and I want Noah to be like the side piece for his what was it, his second stand other than Tiamat. It's like but yeah, there's a lot of like Primarchs in here. Um, here's one specifically for you, DJ. If GBF got a stage play, which
Yes.
event would you want as a stage play? So before
Let
I
me
show
guess. The
you the
first one.
answers,
Let me guess. The first one is what makes the sky blue.
okay, yes.
Okay,
Do you,
yeah. Like there's like no other number one that could be. Let's be
hmm
honest.
But what would you want?
Flowers of fate.
because you just want idle things to happen on that stage. I mean,
Yeah.
sure. So number one was in fact What Makes the Sky Blue. Number two was
Dang,
Triple
that's
Zero.
shocker.
Yeah, also a
Dang,
shocker.
also shocker.
Number three is the Magnificent Mole Troop.
That's fair.
That one would be really fun, given that it's also like Shakespeare commentary. So the play within the play is something that would be amazing to watch because you would have to have all of these actors pretend to act badly, to just be bad actors, and that's always fun to me.
That sounds painful to be an actor to pretend to be bad.
Sometimes it's really fun. The problem is being believably bad. That's very difficult. All right. Number four is Seeds of Redemption.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
Number five was uh, Home Sweet Moon is the English name, which I'm really just like trying to rack my brain on how they would do it, and it just comes back to that freaking double O stage
Yes.
play, where it's like when you do the Atomic Gods, you just have the actors in like power loader chairs shouting at each other, and it's like,
I mean,
oh
so
no.
bring Rod around. Let's be honest. That's really how that entire fight scene even went in the stupid event.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Number six, always popular in terms of like we want this to be adapted to something. Ranger Sign Bravo. I would cry.
I won't cry. You know why? They're gonna have a stupid Jade costume on stage, and I'll just laugh.
Yeah, that's fair. But you know what? That's what we said when we just first saw Ranger Sign Bravo, and then they made us cry. So maybe we'd laugh and cry. We'd probably laugh and cry. Number seven is What Makes the Sky Blue Part Two. So yeah, sure. Number
Sure.
eight, number eight and nine were both four night Dragon Knights events. So it's Defender's Oath followed by Four Knights of a Fallen Land. So the first two, and then number 10 is Together in Song, which also would make a really good play, I think.
I think I'll cry.
Sure, you'll cry for Karo, but not for Jade. I mean, yeah, okay, that's fair. Now that I've
Look,
said it out loud.
you're not a giant penguin thing as Kara. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you're right. It's easier to feel sorry and sad for Karo because he's actually just a dude, as opposed to this big penguin suit. All right, all right. I think out of these ones, I would stick with Ranger Sign Bravo though as the one that I would want to see the most. Second place is Magnificent Mole Troop. Let's see what chat says here. My beloved Auguste. Oh my God, Blue, that's freaking brilliant. Oh, Blue had a question. Why is Vicky on here twice? It was because one of them is most popular female character, and this one here is most popular. Like, so she's actually here three times. So question 15, most popular female character. Number 16, whose uncap made you the happiest? And number 17 is which uncap made them easiest to use? All right. Um, question 21. What character would you like to see in an event again? Number 1, Lucifer. Yeah, okay, sure. Number 2, Krell Cool Kill.
Okay, yeah, fair. All right.
Emiya as a potato who wants to save everybody, except that he's,
Do.
going insane.
I mean, that's Evia.
Yeah, you're right. But
That's
in
the
this
reason
one,
why has to kill his past self.
yeah, you're right. So here's Krell Cool Kill, and the comment is, I really want to know what happens after Reflections of White Clover. I don't even mind if it's a tragedy. I just want to know.
Instead of where we are 5 years later.
Yeah, wherever this is, unresolved. Number 3, Polaris. Yeah, all right. Number 4 here, Balder. Not very far behind Polaris. People want to see Balder again. Speaking of
Yeah,
which,
they made us play Freyr to fight Baldur in that event.
Mm-hmm. And then Karo right after that. So yeah, your
Yeah, that's
boy.
fair.
Lamorak is definitely coming more like quickly than anybody else on this list.
Yeah, he just literally just disappears sometimes and he comes back, and so that one time he's the Harvin, and then
Yeah. My guess is every October he comes back for quite a
yeah, I
while.
wonder why.
Yeah. Number 7, Sui. Yeah, I feel that. Number
What's
8,
Sui?
Sui is the new Fox family member, the green one.
Okay. I haven't actually gone through reading that event yet, so that makes sense.
That is fair. Number 8, Falch from the Magnificent Mole Troop, like everybody's favorite new loser,
Yeah.
actual like failure of a human being that everybody's like, yeah, yeah, he's me for real. Number 9, Jade, and then number 10 is a tie between Belial and Lucilius. I'm guessing that the one that you want to see most is Diantha in terms of,
Yeah,
well, if you
we're
think
still
the dog,
we still have that thing held up where
yeah,
they went to the past.
and they've met the dog and the dog's original like
They fought
Star
test
Slayer.
cats.
Yeah. Um, here's one's like, what is your favorite raid that you fought? And number 1 was the Dark Rapture Hard, and I would personally not put this here just because there are too many things to remember and it's stressful. But Birth of a New King, so Beelzebub's number 2. Number 3 is PBHL, largely because it finishes. Because one number 2 is like, yeah, a lot of people joined this and they beat it up for me. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I wonder why.
yeah. Number 4 is Ultimate Bahamut. Number 5 is Super Ultimate Bahamut. And the Super Ultimate Bahamut it's surprisingly easy. And it's good to work together on it. And so it's like, but yeah, then this last one. Who do you want as a summon? Number 1, Balder.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Lucilius. It's like, yeah, we've got Belial, we've got Bubs, so it's a matter of time. We're waiting for him. Number 3, Cosmos. And then here are the ones where I'm most interested. So number 4, Caro again, so Arte.
Yeah.
Um, number 5, Azrael and Israfel, which is number 1 on my list, I think.
As it is, yeah.
Yeah. Number 6, Echidna. So the primal,
Snake mommy.
yeah, the primal of Mommy. Number 7, Noah. They want Noah as a summon.
I mean,
Well,
he is a
some people
primal.
do. Yeah. Number 8 is Akasha. It's like, oh no, what would they have Akasha do? They would probably have Akasha fast forward time. Come to
You know,
think of
fast
it.
forward time is sometimes a good thing, sometimes a bad thing. Depends on your situation, and you want to use it on the first one.
Yeah. Number 9 is Jade. Yeah, sure. But also tied for number 9 is Nozuchi, a Unite and Fight boss, which was the hot dude to contrast all of the half
Yeah.
naked ladies that we keep getting as Unite and Fight bosses.
That wasn't that Tsuchinoko?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's Shiraishi as a hot dude.
Yeah, that does happen often.
Yeah. And that was pretty much it for the poll. But it's just like it's always fun to read these results and just get a slice of the player base. Because yeah, so this was a majority female, but not like overwhelmingly female response. And getting like a slice of about 2,700 is pretty representative of the whole player base. So it's good to just get a pulse every year.
Yeah, outside of just the raw data they give us every stream.
Right, and that's use as opposed to like sentiment. So these are good. Yeah, Tsuchinoko Husbando rhyme. Yeah.
Like I just need them to give us every one of the Unite Fight bosses. All right.
This is totally not because you want Noir.
Look, I just want every one of them at this point.
I mean, that's fair. Mars is the next one, and she's a Rage of Bahamut slash Shadowverse like staples. She's apparently actually getting a leader skin in Shadowverse. She won the Shadowverse poll over there. So it's like, yeah, okay. I can see that.
And Hecate was also Shadowverse, not Shadowverse, Rage of
Rage.
Bahamut.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Just gotta, and so was Noir. Yeah. All right. So anyway, so that's it for this week. So next week we will have pro skips, and honestly, that'll be basically it. And then instead we'll take that time to go over the slides that we had from last time, because well, we haven't had time to do that because it's always the period right after.
gas.
Yeah, it's the period right after the anniversary. Gas, 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 gas. We're changing. We're giving you everything. But yeah. enjoy, everybody. Thanks for joining me, DJ. Enjoy Sakura-con. Hopefully
Uh,
Daryl does not annoy you too much with that one commercial.
I mean, I used to it. I get it every time, anyways.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. But
Look,
anyway,
this is the only time he can do this because he's actually there.
yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining us for this episode of Granblue Radio. And next time we're gonna just go over some numbers and talk about other things that players do, because that's always fun. So
Like
thanks.
find out who has more Gislas than Onoyu.
Oh yeah, that's right. There is one person who has more geeses than Oni who knows like this cannot stand.
And it's specifically from trading too.
Yeah.